You gonna show us how to knock a nigga out?
I'm gonna show y'all how to knock Tank ass out.
Okay. Hey, Tank, he said he about to knock your ass out.
One of the biggest boxing fights of the year is coming up on March 1st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Tank Davis and Lamont Roach are getting ready for it.
Everybody talking all that stuff about, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
The two fighters just got back from a press trip that took them to New York and Washington, D.C. to promote their upcoming fight.
Going to retire at the end of next year. Do you think he has one foot out the door?
Yeah, for sure. I think that was a mistake for him to say that, especially in front of me. So, I'm gonna just take advantage of him and show him why he shouldn't have said that or why he shouldn't be contemplating that.
But when these two almost got into a fight afterward, things almost got out of hand. Let's get you caught up. Davis has never lost a fight. He has 30 wins, including 28 knockouts. He fought Frank Martin last in June and knocked him out in the 8th round to keep his WBA lightweight belt. People know this boxer is one of the biggest stars in the sport because of how hard he hits and how quickly he can end fights. In this fight, he will defend his title against Roach, who is stepping up from the super featherweight class. Roach is the WBA super featherweight champion right now. He has 25 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw on his record. His last fight was against Fergal MCC in June, where he won by technical knockout in the 8th round. Moving up in weight to face Davis is a bold move for Roach, but he has expressed confidence in his ability to compete at lightweight. And Roach has made it clear that he wants to win. He has said many times that he respects Davis.
Frank Martin was inexperienced and nervous. It is what it is. It's going to be a different fight when I'm in there. He's going to be a different fighter when he's fighting me.
What's your game plan?
The press tour included moments of tension between the fighters, especially backstage in New York, where Davis approached Roach in what some described as an attempt to provoke him. The situation did not worsen, but it added to the anticipation surrounding the fight. Both men addressed the incident lightly, focused more on their preparations and the significance of the fight itself. However, this matchup was not the original plan for Davis. Earlier this year, he was expected to face Vasily Lomachenko, a unification bout, but the fight did not happen due to undisclosed reasons. Davis acknowledged the disappointment from fans, but stated that he is fully focused on Roach now. He praised Roach as a skilled fighter and an old acquaintance from their early days in boxing. Roach has skills even though he's at a smaller weight class. I feel as though Lamont has, and he's actually one of the guys that I came up with in the sport of boxing, actually like still doing well. Everybody that started with us really likes not in the picture right now, so people don't really, I would say, know him, but he definitely has the skills, definitely top opponent, Tank said.
And I'm gonna let y'all know something. His ball was up here shaking on the what's name. He was shaking on the
Thank everybody that played a part in it. My team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas.
On my kids, he was shaking on this thing. On my kids, he was shaking. How you gonna say his cap? And it gotta be gonna say his cap. Why?
Roach also shared his gratitude for the chance, thanking his team and supporters. During the press tour, he emphasized that he is prepared fully for the challenge of facing Davis. Moving up in weight is a significant adjustment, but Roach thinks his skills and preparation will make the difference. He described this fight as a chance to prove himself on a bigger stage and establish his name among the top fighters in the sport. The fight will be broadcast as a pay-per-view event on Amazon Prime, marking a major moment for boxing's partnership with streaming services.
I think the fire is the competitiveness between us both already, that we competed twice before in 2 close fights in the amateurs, and that
this format allows fans from around the world to tune in and watch the champions fight. The Barclays Center is a familiar sight for Davis, as he has fought there several times before, including a notable win against Rolando Romero. The competition between Baltimore and Washington, D.C., adds another layer of interest to this fight. While Davis has downplayed the regional rivalry, calling DC a second home due to his training history there, Roach sees this as an opportunity to represent his city and achieve something important. Both fighters have local fan groups that will likely bring a lively atmosphere to the Barclays Center.
That'll be on his A game. I'm gonna bust his ass.
You going for the knockout? Is it personal now?
It ain't personal. It ain't never gonna be personal.
You want to make that statement?
He gave me an opportunity. Just like
Davis, this fight is a chance to continue his dominance in the lightweight division and keep his perfect record. A win would solidify his place as one of the best fighters in the world. For Roach, it is a chance to become a two-division champion and make a statement by defeating an undefeated star.
We fought twice in the same tournament. So, yeah, we fought in the Junior Olympics, in the regionals, and we fought in the nationals.
Okay. You fought in the regionals and then fought again in the nationals?
Yeah. So we fought in the regionals in Baltimore, in his hometown.
On the other end, Lamont Roach Sr. is full of energy as his son prepares for the biggest fight of his career. The March 1st clash feels personal for the Roach family, not just because of the stakes, but also because the fight is going close to their home turf. Roach Jr. 29 claimed his WBA junior lightweight title in November 2023, defeating Hector Luis Garcia in a standout effort on the David Benavides Demetrius Andrade undercard. He followed that victory with an 8th-round stoppage of Fergal McCory in June, further solidifying his status as a rising star.
And I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother.
Yeah.
Roach Sr., a constant presence in his son's corner, shared his enthusiasm for the fight and its regional importance. Davis, a Baltimore native, is only an hour's drive from Roach, Upper Marlboro, Maryland, neighborhood. This proximity creates a sense of rivalry and pride that will surely fuel both fighters come fight night. Roach Sr. even expressed gratitude for the change of location to Brooklyn, calling it a fitting stage for such a high-stakes event. However, the fight wasn't always intended for New York. Originally planned for December 14th in Houston, it was postponed and rescheduled for March. This delay gave both fighters additional time to prepare, but also caused mixed reactions. While some fans were pleased that the rescheduling didn't derail the matchup altogether, others questioned whether the delay hinted at logistical or promotional challenges behind the scenes.
There's a rematch clause, people, so get ready for 2 fights. But, yes, and after I beat him the second time, I probably would ask the W.
Roach Sr. is not shy about his optimism. He sees this fight as a defining moment for his son and a chance to announce himself to the wider boxing world. Only right for the fight to be on this side of town. New York, here we come, he said, exuding confidence about the preparation and the chance. His words reflect the Roach team's belief that they are not just stepping into the ring to compete, but to win and possibly hear the coveted phrase and the news for Gervonta Davis. The stakes are just as high, though his position in the sport is different. Davis, now 30, has long been viewed as one of boxing's most electrifying stars. He has built his reputation on highlight reel knockouts and has been nearly untouchable since going professional. The question now is whether he can continue that dominance against Roach, who brings a different style and new challenge to the table.
My whole family is from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them. Don't bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you.
They gonna celebrate with me. Yeah.
Don't bring them.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know, son. His father was up his shit.
However, this fight comes with its own share of scandal, and the first one was the postponement. But Lamont Roach Jr. has his own view on why his fight with Tank was delayed by nearly 3 months. Initially planned for December 14th in Houston, the fight was pushed to March 1st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Roach says that Davis simply wasn't ready to face him in December. I honestly don't think he was ready. Because what would be the reasoning? Roach questioned during the press event. If it was the venue, we could have gotten another location. What else could it be? While Roach's comment carries a touch of confidence, others see it differently. A source close to Davis suggested that the delay had more to do with personal situations than boxing. Readiness Davis, who became a father in August, allegedly wanted more time to spend with his newborn son before diving into an intense training camp. This explanation presents a much less dramatic picture, and the one Roach seems to be presenting.
So be it. He's had a good career, and I respect him. He know what it is going up against Tank Davis, though. He definitely knows what that looks like. And he's a warrior at heart. He's a champion.
The backdrop to this fight adds layers to the story. Roach and Davis have known each other for years, starting from their amateur days. They hail from the same area, making this a battle of the Beltway. The two fighters sparred frequently and faced off twice in amateur competition back in 2011, with Davis winning both meetings. Roach recognizes Davis's transformation over the years. As an amateur, Davis was known more for his boxing skill than for power. Now, with a record of 32-0 and 28 knockouts, Davis is considered as one of boxing's most dangerous finishers.
I'm not looking at Lamont the way that everybody else look at Lamont. Like I know Lamont is a really good fighter. I'm not. This ain't no Frank Martin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's a real good fight.
Roach Sr., who trains his son, echoed this opinion, noting how Davis has evolved as a professional. He's really added to his skill set, he said, comparing the amateur Davis with the knockout artist he has become. However, Roach Sr. also stressed his son's strength, pointing out that in their early sparring sessions, Lamont Jr. often forced Davis onto his back foot, while Roach Sr. and Jr. seem eager to highlight their own end strengths. It's hard to ignore the uphill fight Roach faces. This will be his first pay-per-view headliner, and he's moving up in weight to face Davis, who has been a dominant force at lightweight since 2021. The two share one common opponent. Hector Luis Garcia. Roach won a split decision over Garcia last year to win the WBA junior lightweight title, while Davis knocked Garcia out in brutal fashion earlier that year.
That backlash too, but I mean, it is what it is. I ain't really studying that too much. I'm not worried about narrative. I'm worried about what I can do in the ring. All right, brother. All right.
Roach says he's not fazed by the delay or the challenge ahead. His calm demeanor was obvious even when Davis arrived nearly 4.5 hours late to the press conference. If he's trying to play mind games, Roach said, it's not working. Davis's tardiness might irritate fans and organizers, but for Roach it seems to be just another part of the game. Still, there's skepticism around Roach's claim that Davis was scared to fight him. Many argue that the delay had less to do with Davis dodging the fight and more to do with business considerations. Simply put, Roach doesn't have the star power to drive large pay-per-view numbers.
You know he's lurking in your weight class?
He better not.
Big fight, big money?
Not. It's big money, yes.
You kind of want those guys in your weight class too.
I do, trust me, but he better not.
By postponing the fight, the promoters have more time to build interest in and create some attention. Boxing is as much about entertainment and economics as it is about athletic competition, and in this case, the delay may be about making the fight more financially viable from a business angle. The choice to move the fight to the Barclays Center also makes sense. New York is a bigger market than Houston and offers a more central position for the regional rivalry between Roach and Davis. The Barclays Center has held several high-profile boxing events and is known for drawing energetic crowds for a fight that lacks the crossover appeal of some other marquee matchups. Every little detail counts when it comes to maximizing revenue.
What do you think of the announcement of the Gervonta Davis-Roach fight?
I think that, it's had a lot of criticism, but it's not a bad fight. Lamont Roach is a world champion. He's smaller than Gervonta Davis. The problem is not many people are aware of who he is or his ability, but he can fight. I don't think it's a huge fight, but not a terrible one.
Roach seems to think that the delay is a sign of Davis's vulnerability, but the reality might be less flattering despite his impressive record and recent success. Roach is still relatively unknown to casual fans. A delay gives the promotion team more time to market him as a viable challenger, but it's an uphill fight. Davis, on the other hand, is already a proven draw capable of selling out arenas and hosting pay-per-view events. The question is whether Roach can bring enough intrigue to make the fight a commercial hit.
Who you looking to fight next after this fight? Like, Tank over, win, lose, draw, whatever. Who you want next?
Look, if y'all don't know, even after I beat Tank, I'm gonna go back down to 130 and handle some smoke that I got down there at 130. All the champions. I got smoke with all the champions.
The rematch clause in the contract is another point of interest. If Roach pulls off the upset, Davis has the option to demand an instant rematch. This is standard practice in high-stakes boxing, but it also shows the promoters' confidence in Davis. They're hedging their baits, ensuring that even if Roach wins, Davis will have a chance to reclaim his title and reassert his power.
I fought Tank twice. I lost both times. The first one was a little... No, both they on YouTube. You can go watch them.
Yeah, I got you. First one's a little fishy.
Yeah, the first one I fought him in Baltimore.
However, as much as Tank has told people that this is a good fight, many are not buying it, and one of the biggest criticisms has come from Bill Haney. Bill Haney is also chasing a fight between Devin and Tank, and if Tank were to take this fight, Bill Haney would not talk about Tank taking easy fights, even though the fight against his son would be more than easy. The feud between the Haney family and Gervonta Davis has been bubbling for a while now. It all started back in late 2023, when Devin the Dream Haney called out Tank Davis, calling him a __ and daring him to a fight. Ever since that moment, There has been a steady back and forth between the two sides, with both throwing insults and jabs at each other. The tension only built throughout 2024 with Gervonta Davis mocking Devin Haney, especially after Haney's loss to Ryan Garcia. But the heat didn't stop there. One of the more public parts of this feud came when a video was leaked showing Devin and Tank in a sparring session at Floyd Mayweather's gym. The video set social media on fire, with fans analyzing every move and moment to add more fuel to the fire. Things nearly escalated when Davis and Haney came face to face outside a club in Las Vegas in June. The situation nearly got physical, but Devin's father, Bill Haney, stepped in to separate the two fighters. Bill Haney didn't just stay quiet in this ongoing heat. He made his voice heard, calling out Gervonta Davis for dodging tough opponents and even belittling the upcoming fight between Davis and Lamont Roach. Bill Haney's criticism was sharp and pointed as he downplayed Roach's skills, saying that Davis wasn't in any real danger facing him. In an interview with Vlad TV, Bill Haney questioned the validity of Davis's future fight against Lamont Roach. When are they going to fight? I haven't heard much about that. Have you heard much about that fight? He asked B for mockingly saying that he didn't think Lamont Roach had what it takes to beat Davis. He kept with his jabs, asking, when is he going to fight? The comment seemed to be a direct shot at Davis's record of fighting opponents who many consider to be below his level. Bill Haney's words sparked a lot of debate as many boxing fans and analysts began questioning whether Davis was truly avoiding the best in the sport. Bill Haney didn't stop there. The interviewer also brought up the idea of a possible showdown between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson, another top fighter in the lightweight division. Haney quickly shot down the possibility, suggesting that Davis would never agree to such a fight. He pointed out that Davis had never voiced a desire to fight Shakur, and the idea of it seemed to be just that, an idea without any real substance behind it. Bill Haney's criticisms of Davis weren't just based on his opinion. He gave some reasoning behind his stance. It would be a good fight. I give it 50-50ths, Haney said, talking about the possible matchup between Tank and Shakur, but I think Tank is avoiding real boxes. He's avoiding them for a reason, he added.
Tank and Lamont Roach. Is that the right opponent for Tank?
I don't know why everybody is kind of sleeping on Lamont, but he has a decorated amateur career too. He's a very steady kid, he's very skilled. Tank is Tank.
Haney's point was clear. Davis, despite his power and undefeated record, had been carefully selecting his opponents, and it seemed like he was avoiding fighters who could truly test him. This debate isn't new, as fans have long questioned whether Davis has been avoiding the best challenges in boxing. While Davis's knockout power and undefeated record are impressive, many think that the most dangerous fights for him have not yet happened. Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and even Teofimo Lopez are all names that fans have long wanted to see Davis face, but for different reasons those fights have not materialized. Some argue that Davis's team has carefully managed his career, ensuring that he meets opponents who will help him build his legacy without risking a loss too soon.
By that logic, if Tank Davis is weight bullying Lamont Roach because he pulled Lamont Roach up to 135 pounds, isn't every single fighter that's asking Tank Davis to fight at 140 pounds, aren't they trying to weight bully him too? By your own.
On the other hand, Lamont Roach, the upcoming opponent for Davis, is no stranger to battle. Roach, who holds the WBA junior lightweight title, is an experienced and skilled fighter, but despite his accomplishments, many fans don't see him as the real threat that could derail Davis's unbeaten run. Roach's record doesn't scream the same kind of danger that a fighter like Shakur Stevenson brings to the table. Roach, however, is hungry for a big opportunity, and this fight against Davis is his chance to show that he belongs among the elite.
Why people even talk like he the best at? He didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30 or none of that.
He is good.
Okay.
Roach and Davis have a shared past, having come up through the same regional boxing scene. Roach, from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and Davis, from Baltimore, are both children of the Mid-Atlantic boxing scene. This creates an interesting regional rivalry, but many say that the real excitement surrounding the fight is more about the build-up and the potential of the fighters than about the fight itself. The tension between the two men, however, is obvious. and it's clear that both camps are fully aware of what's at stake.
That box yet. You know what I'm saying? They're about to put him with a guy at 130 pounds. Whether he's a champion or not, you're getting a guy lighter than you to come up and weight to make you look good again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man. I mean, it's gonna go. Tank gonna be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's gonna download the data. Then he gonna knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he gonna do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's gonna get in the ring.
While Davis's career has been marked by a run of exciting knockouts, many are still waiting for him to step up and face the top challengers in the lightweight division. Devin Haney has already put the heat on Davis, calling him out and accusing him of avoiding tough opponents. Haney's comments only add fuel to the fire as he continues to suggest that Davis is picking easy fights rather than taking on real competition. While many still question Davis's opponent pick, one thing is for sure: his current fight with Roach will be heavily promoted, and the build-up will be filled with the same kind of heat. What's your take? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more.